Tonight, early morning drama at the Rewa Bridge today. Renovation work for court complexes around the country. And new lawyers join the bar. Very good evening. Leading our news bulletin tonight, a woman jumped off the Rewa Bridge in Nausori this morning. This incident happened at around 8 o'clock. Workers at this quarry site near the bridge saw the woman jump and rushed to her rescue. They took this barge and managed to get her out of the water. Police spokesperson Atunaisa Sokomuri said the woman was taken to the health facility in Nausori, where she remains admitted. Investigations continue. Renovation works at our court complexes will get underway soon. As Revive Afo reports, these works are part of overall plans to improve accessibility to judicial services.
The first indication that courthouses around the country would undergo an overhaul came in the 2014 budget announcement. This is all part of government's plans to improve services to the general public.
There will be a continuance this year of the court building program. We will continue to repair and modernize our courts, to restore the government buildings, including the clock tower.
$2 million was allocated for the restoration of existing court complexes. Justice Gate State that includes the rural court houses.
In particular, this concerns the magistrates' courts at Nandi, Bar and Raki, as well as Nambuwalu, Taviuni and Vunindawa.
The entire court complex will undergo a facelift. An additional $100,000 was set aside to upgrade sound recording systems. That will also cover security aspects.
This year too, I hope to see the remaining courts, which are presently without, being installed with audio recording equipment. Most should have video facilities installed by the end of the year as well.
The entire court complex will undergo a facelift. An additional $100,000 was set aside to upgrade sound recording systems. That will also cover security aspects. The renovations are aimed at ensuring members of the public don't travel far to access courts. Revive Afo, Fiji One News.
23 lawyers were admitted to the bar this morning. The law fraternity, family and friends were present to witness the culmination of their hard work and endless sacrifice.
For these 23 lawyers, the hard work has finally paid off. The legal fraternity, family and friends witnessed the event this morning at the Supreme Court. Chief Justice Anthony Gates reminded the young batch to remember those who helped make their admission to the bar a reality.
Struggles make for a more determined, disciplined, professional life. Having it easy does not prepare you for tragedy or setbacks. Some of you may have wished valued mentors, or indeed parents, uncles or aunts, were still living to see you get admitted today, finally to see you take your oaths. Though this is a public act, there is a private, personal moment contained within it. That should be honored and those persons remembered.
With enthusiasm and eagerness to prove their worth, Justice Gates reminded the 23 solicitors that modesty and humility goes a long way.
Learn first the nuts and bolts of your profession. Once you have a firmer grip on the practicalities, you may then apply the advocacy skills you think you have to speak before courts with acquired skill and confidence.
Having put in the hard yards, the new lawyers know that it's time to literally put into practice all they have learned.
It's been a long time coming, and all the sacrifices that we've made have all paid off. And I think the fact that our families are here to share it with us, it makes it even more special.
For one particular lawyer, it was a matter of continuing the legacy.
It's a dream come true for me. It's a relief, and I always wish for this day to come, and finally it has come. And I'd like to thank my family, my mom and my dad who has passed away. And I wish he was here to see this very solemn occasion.
For this young batch, another chapter of their lives begins now as they leave behind the classrooms and enter the courtroom. Revive of all, Fiji One News.
A 32-year-old villager in Ra has become the latest drowning statistic. Osiangata of Malake village is believed to have drowned after spearfishing with 8 other men from the same village. His body is now at the Rakiraki Hospital mortuary awaiting post-mortem. This brings the drowning death toll to 8 so far this year. Telecom Fiji Limited's decision to downsize has come at a cost. With more than 90 workers made redundant recently, it's expected that more will be going home in the coming weeks. The Fiji Islands Council of Trade Unions says that the absence of trade unions has resulted in workers getting the raw end of the deal.
2 weeks ago, the first lot of Telecom Fiji Limited workers were given redundancy letters. It was all part of a restructure aimed at reducing staff numbers to 500. More than 90 workers have been given letters. Fiji One News was informed that almost half this number were engineers, some of whom allege they weren't given a fair deal. We sought clarification from TFL on the issue. However, we were informed that the CEO would not be able to comment on the matter. But the Fiji Islands Council of Trade Unions clarified the different packages that were offered to TFL workers. Permanent staff were given 1 month's pay plus a week's pay for each year of service. Those with fixed-term contracts were only paid the balance of their contracts.
So which means if their employment was terminated 2 years into a 3-year contract, they were only given a month's notice for termination instead of being paid for the whole balance of the contract. So you are correct in saying that there was no additional redundancy payment for those who were on fixed-term contract. They were only given their notice pay before termination.
Singh says Telecom Fiji had an active union until 2011 when the Essential National Industries Employment Decree came into force.
Effectively, the decree means that the union can't go on strike. The workers cannot report disputes. The old collective agreements that were in place are now void, and that workers to a large extent now are at the mercy of the employer. Now, this is the effect of this decree. If this decree wasn't in place, then Telecom Fiji would not have been able to get away with such meager payments for making workers redundant.
Relative to this incident, Singh recalled a 2006 incident when the first major reform for telecom took place.
At the time, the union negotiated redundancy packages for the workers who were made redundant, and the package at the time was 3 months' pay plus 2 weeks' pay for each of service, and additionally, those workers who had reached the age of 50 years and were due to retire in another 5 years' time were also given what we had as retirement benefit in our collective agreements at the time.
Singh claims Telecom Fiji workers know that challenging these reforms would be an exercise in futility. Apisalome Rambo, Fiji One News.
The Fiji National Provident Fund's roadshow continued in the Western Division today. It was a chance for members to speak directly to the Chief Executive Officer, Aisake Taito, and his team of executives.
It was a time for FNPF members to come and meet those that have been looking after their superannuation fund and query on issues they have had with the way the fund has been operating and the like. The FNPF top brass were at hand, much to the delight of the members who saw this as an opportunity to put their concerns forward. For some, it was a time to clear the air on lingering questions over the years and planning to move forward from here.
How often the FNPF department will open the amnesty period? Is there a time frame set, or the FNPF department will see the needs and then they will open the amnesty period? As informed, the last year amnesty period, FNPF department has recovered about approximately 3 million.
The executives continue with their roadshow this evening with a Talanoa session at their newly opened office at Main Street, Lautoka. Bulletin, Fiji One News.
Ahead in sports, Osea Kolinisau injury worries camp.